Okay, welcome to Laksha YouTube channel. This is the digestion absorption part 9. Okay, now I am going to complete remaining part of the liver and pancreas. With that, total digestive glands will be completed. Okay, let us start the remaining part of the liver. Okay, as I told you in the previous part, okay, lactic acid which is formed during anaerobic muscle contraction is converted to glucose in the Cori cycle. Okay, look at the next point. Okay, liver is the chief organ of detoxification of toxic substances. Okay, whenever we take food every day, there is a possibility of entering some toxins into our gut through the food. Okay, those toxins have to be detoxified. Otherwise, if they enter directly into our general blood circulation, okay, they go to those toxins go to all the body parts and they harm them. Okay, that's why okay, liver is the check post in our body. Okay, whenever toxins enter along with the food into our gut, okay, those toxins first go to liver and there they are detoxified. It is the organ of detoxification. Okay, why it is called organ of detoxification? It detoxifies the toxic substances that enter along with the food. Liver acts as a thermoregulatory organ. Okay, like skeletal muscle. Okay, during winter you experience shivering. Okay, when you take bath or during winter, severe winter months. Okay, we start shivering sometime. Okay, this that means when we shiver, some heat is generated. That means skeletal muscles are thermoregulatory; they are producing heat. Okay, liver also acts as a thermoregulatory organ like skeletal muscles. Liver too takes part in thermogenesis, formation of heat, generation of heat, because liver has high amount of glucose at its disposal. Okay, liver has lot of glycogen. Okay, the glucose I told you in the previous part, glucose, excess glucose is converted to glycogen. That process is called glycogenesis. As the liver has lot of glucose in the form of glycogen, okay, it is broken down, okay, when there is a need, and it is used for the generation of the heat. Okay, that's why it is a okay, regulatory organ. Liver acts as a hemopoietic organ. Okay, in the fetus. Okay, that means it helps in the formation of blood cells. You learned in first year also. And erythroclastic organ in the adult. That means it breaks down the RBC. I told you in the previous liver functions in the first point. Okay, bile pigments are found when RBC or some RBC are destroyed in our liver. It is erythroclastic organ in the adults along with spleen. Spleen is called graveyard of RBC or burial ground of RBC. Some extent of RBC are destroyed in the okay, liver of adult human beings. That's why it is called erythroclastic organ in adults and hemopoietic organ in fetus. Okay, finally, liver is the organ of detoxification. Liver is thermoregulatory organ. Liver is hemopoietic organ, and liver is erythroclastic organ. Okay, liver is organ of detoxification because it detoxifies toxin. The liver is thermoregulatory organ. It helps in it is involved in thermogenesis. Liver is hemopoietic organ in fetus, and liver is erythroclastic organ in adults. Okay, there are so many substances which are synthesized in our liver. What are they? Okay, liver synthesizes plasma proteins. You are familiar with these two terms, albumins and globulins. Okay, plasma. What are the plasma proteins? Most abundant plasma protein is albumin, and another one globulins. There are different types of globulins: the alpha globulins, beta globulins, gamma globulins, which are otherwise called antibodies. Okay, liver is involved in the synthesis of plasma proteins like albumins and globulins, and liver is also involved in the in synthesizing clotting factors like fibrinogen and prothrombin. Okay, you learn these proteins in the process of blood clotting, in the mechanism of blood clotting. And liver also synthesizes an anticoagulant called heparin. Heparin is an anticoagulant. Fibrinogen and prothrombin are the clotting factors which aid in clotting of blood. Albumins and globulins are the plasma proteins. These all are synthesized by our liver. And liver also consists of one type of cells called Kupffer cells or Kupffer cells, which are phagocytic cells. I will show you those cells. Okay, observe this figure. Okay, here you can observe Kupffer cells. Okay, Kupffer cells are present here. Okay, this is the Kupffer cell. Okay, this is the phagocytic cell. Okay, whenever bacteria, some other germs enter into our liver, okay, those are okay phagocytized by Kupffer cells. Okay, Kupffer cells are the large phagocytic cells. Observe this cell, very large one. Okay, this is the large cell, large phagocytic cells. What do they remove? They remove unwanted substances and microbes that attack the liver. By which process they remove? They remove those unwanted substances and microbes by a process called phagocytosis. What is that? Phagocytosis. Kupffer cells are present in the sinusoids that lie between the hepatic cells. What is meant by sinusoid? Okay, this is the space. Okay, this is one hepatic cord. This is one hepatic cord. There is space here. Okay, this is called as sinusoid. Okay, we also have some spaces here, sinuses. Okay, this space is called sinusoid. You learned in first year in the life cycle of plasmodium. Okay, sinusoid is, this is the space. Okay, in which sinusoid what are present here? Kupffer cells are present, and these are also called Kupffer cells are also called hepatic macrophages. Hepatic macrophages. Okay, that's the end of the liver. Okay, now I move on to the next one, next gland, the last one. This is the pancreas. Okay, pancreas is the second largest gland in our body. What is the largest gland in our body? Liver. What is the second largest gland in our body? Pancreas. And it is a mixed gland, or it is a dual gland or compound gland. Okay, pancreas is a dual gland. It is doing dual functions, endocrine function as well as exocrine function. It is a compound gland and it is a mixed gland. It is situated between the two limbs. I will show you the location of the pancreas here. Okay, this is one limb of the duodenum. This is the another limb of the duodenum. Duodenum is in the shape of U, or okay, in the C shape. As per new NCERT textbook, it is in the shape of C, or you can say U shaped one. Okay, there are two limbs here. This is the one limb. This is the another limb of the duodenum. In between the two limbs of duodenum, okay, liver is present. Liver has pancreas is present. Pancreas has three parts: head of the pancreas, body of the pancreas, tail of the pancreas. At the tail of the pancreas, there is a gland called spleen. What is this gland? Spleen. Okay, that is the location of pancreas. Pancreas is situated between the two limbs. Okay, this is one limb. This is another limb. Okay, in the shape of in the English alphabet C. Okay, between these two limbs, pancreas is located. Pancreas is situated or located between the two limbs of U or C shaped duodenum. Okay, pancreas has two parts. One is exocrine part of the pancreas. Exocrine part of the pancreas has cells called pancreatic acini. Okay, observe here. Okay, observe this slide here. Okay, this is the exocrine part. This is the endocrine. Pancreas has two parts: exocrine part and endocrine part. The endocrine part of pancreas consists of pancreatic acini. Okay, the exocrine part of the pancreas consists of pancreatic acini. And pancreatic acini, okay, secrete an alkaline pancreatic juice. The pH value is 8.4, highest pH value among all the digestive juices. And okay, in the pancreatic juice there are different types of enzymes. Okay, earlier we learned bile juice. There are no enzymes. We also learned intestinal juice. There are many enzymes, and gastric juice and salivary juice. This is the final last juice. This is the pancreatic juice. It consists of various enzymes. What are those enzymes? Sodium bicarbonate is present, okay, which gives alkalinity to this pancreatic juice. and procarboxypeptidase, trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen. These all these three enzymes. Okay, procarboxypeptidase, which is in inactive form, trypsinogen is also inactive form, and chymotrypsinogen is also in inactive form. These all enzymes act on proteins, and pancreatic lipase, steapsin, which is involved in the digestion of fats or lipids, and pancreatic amylase. Okay, it helps in the digestion of carbohydrates. And there are two more enzymes, DNAs and RNAs, which are called nuclease, which help in the digestion of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. Okay, that is about the composition of pancreatic juice. Observe here. Okay, pancreatic juice consists, its pH value is 8.4. It consists of sodium bicarbonate. It consists of pancreatic lipase, also called steapsin. It also consists of pancreatic amylase and proteases. There are different protein digesting enzymes called proteases. What are the proteases? Trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, and procarboxypeptidase. And there are also nuclease, DNAase, and RNA. This is the composition of pancreatic juice. Now I will move on to the next part, endocrine part of the pancreas. The endocrine part of the pancreas consists of islets of Langerhans. What do we call them? Okay, islets of This is the islet of Langerhans. This is one islet. Like that, many islets of Langerhans are present there. Okay, what is the composition of islet of Langerhans? Islet of Langerhans consists of different types. Islets of Langerhans are composed of different types of cells. What are the different types of cells are present here? One is A, alpha cells, B, beta cells, and D, delta cells, and F cells. Okay, what is the significance of F cells? F cells produce pancreatic polypeptide. Pancreatic polypeptide is produced by F cells of the pancreas. Next, delta cells. Delta cells, it is not given in a textbook. It is out of your syllabus, but it is important. Somatostatin, a pancreatic inhibitor of both insulin and glucagon secretion. It inhibits the insulin secretion and glucagon secretion. Okay, which is produced by delta cells. You can observe here. This is the delta cell. Okay, next another cell is alpha cell. Alpha cells are what do they produce? Glucagon. This is the alpha cell, and which secretes glucagon hormone. And beta cells secrete insulin. This is the beta cell which secrete insulin. Okay, like that, there are different types of cells in the islets of Langerhans which produce different types of substances. Okay, that's the end of digestive glands. Okay, in the coming part, okay, we will start physiology of digestion. Okay, keep watching. Okay, Lakshya online, Lakshya YouTube videos, and encourage us. Okay, by liking these videos, sharing them, and subscribe to Lakshya YouTube channel. Okay, good night to all of you.